City Attorney William Bradford is here. Mr. William, how are you today? Thank you for taking time for us.
I'm fine. Good morning. How are you?
Okay, let's start here because Matt, our producer, is a big ride-sharing kind of guy. When he goes on the road, he travels a lot. He always uses Lyft and Uber and things like that.
We call him an Uber goober.
So he has been sort of our go-to guy for how all of this works.
Right.
And he's been following along really carefully with the city council and Uber and Lyft, and he came in this morning, and I'm going to start from his extreme, and you can either say yes or you can back it off a little bit. You can give us your comments. He said, Uber's just stupid. They just blew it yesterday. Is that your opinion? What happened in your mind?
No, I think that, we have to get to middle ground in certain areas. Uber's a new business in the kind of grand scheme of things. So is Lyft. It's a new industry. They're really stretching their legs and trying to really figure out what models work best for them. But, we have to kind of counterbalance that with what's good and in the best interest of the city as well. So, it's just a little bit of a dance right now to get everybody on the same page of music. But, Lyft has said that they're on board with what we've done so far, and it works for their model. We'll keep working to try and be as inviting to every business as we can in the community, and we'll make changes when necessary and when appropriate, but everything that we do on this side of the fence is going to be in the best interest of the city and to try and make sure that we protect all of our citizens and give them a great experience.
We got a copy of a list of demands Uber made, I guess at the last minute, that might muddy the water for them. One regarding the insurance, one regarding changing the fee structure, another regarding the Uber logo. They didn't want to have that on the car, and then another to soften the criminal background requirements. I assume you got that list of demands, and what are we doing with that?
Yeah, and it's again, these companies are new. They have small staffing. They are, believe it or not, as big as they are with their expanse and touch, they're very small operationally. And so, they followed what we're doing here in Shreveport as well. And on Friday afternoon and on Monday afternoon, I had some exchanges with a representative from Uber, and they had some suggested revisions that they'd like to see. We were kind of in the 11th hour. I think the council was comfortable with the changes we'd made for the amendment that was on the agenda, and again, with the affirmation from Lyft that they were comfortable, the council chose to proceed forward. Nothing is in this world, nothing is permanent, so we can always make adjustments as we go forward. Again, like I said before, we want to be as inviting, but, we have to really weigh logically the request of any company. And so, there are some changes that they want to see that I think they were hoping to have kind of passed in the state, at the state side, when the state was considering a statewide legislative action to cover these transportation networking companies. So I think their effort is to try and get as close to that. Of course, that didn't pass at the state level. So in the state of Louisiana, they have to negotiate with each city. And each city's requirements are going to be different. Each city requests are going to be different. And really, the considerations that each city makes will be different. Our considerations are different from Monroe's. Our considerations are different from Lafayette, Baton Rouge, or New Orleans. And so we want to make sure that we're making something that is inviting, an environment that's inviting, but also something that is in the best interest of our folks here.
Mr. William, number 4 on their list, soften criminal background requirements. I can't imagine.
That's tough in our community.
I can't imagine that's one that the city's going to negotiate on. Yay, nay?
I think that's going to be one of the harder sticking points for us. We want to make sure, with all that's ever happened in our community, we want to make sure that we're protecting all of our citizens from young to old and anyone who chooses to use the service for them. And so we want to make sure that they're doing their part as corporate partners in this community to ensure that those individuals who choose to use their service are protected and safe as well. So that's going to be one of the tougher ones. I don't think that we want to get away from what we originally have enacted, and so we'll have discussions with them, and we'll continue to work to try and create an environment that works for their model as well.
Uber apparently informed council members that if these changes aren't made, Uber will, quote, make a public announcement that they will be unable to enter our market. Is that how you see it? Is that what you're hearing too? Accurate or not?
Yeah, I think that's fairly accurate. I think that their statement is simply that, hey, as it stands right now, these particular sets of laws are a little more restrictive than I think they're accustomed or want to deal with. And so, from a business standpoint, their business decision right now is, as it stands when the vote was going on, we need to do some further discussions. I don't think that they're saying they'll never enter our market. Of course, we have nearly 200,000 people in the city of Shreveport alone. I think it's a good market for them. They have to make a business decision, but I think, when competition gets out there and people start using other ride-sharing, networks, then, they'll make considerations, and I'm sure we'll get to a quick resolution of that.
Are you disappointed in Uber in the sense, either you or the city council or the mayor, are you disappointed in Uber in the sense that you thought you had a deal, you thought they'd agreed, and now they're? Do you feel like they did you wrong, that they wanted to move the goal line?
No, I think this is all business. I don't take any of this personally. I don't think anybody on the council did. It's not an affront to the city of Shreveport, but they have to make a decision that's in the best interest of their business. We have to make decisions that are in the best interest of our citizens, and so. It's not an end-all, be-all. It's not going to be the end of the conversation with them. I think that Shreveport will see ride-sharing soon. I keep reemphasizing, there are multiple transportation networking companies out there who are wanting to do business and who are credible and reputable. And so, I know everyone is familiar with the Uber brand. I've used them. I think they're a great company from the aspect of customer service and actually usability when I travel away from the city of Shreveport. But, ultimately they're going to have to make a business decision, and I respect them for making that decision that's in the best interest of their company. But again, I think, and it's been very amicable. The conversations have been very pleasant. It's not contentious. It's not some, shakedown or anything like that, but it's just them doing what they feel is in the best interest of their company. Again, I don't want to detract from the fact that we have other transportation networking companies who are excited to be here and are ready to roll now.
Let's talk about that Lyft. How soon? We've got about 45 seconds left.
Sure. I don't know their timeline. I've spoken with their representative, and they are gearing up. I think I've seen, I open the app and it says, hey, we're coming soon. They're hiring drivers. They're making all the steps necessary to launch in our market. And so I look forward to that. I look forward to using them and supporting them and continuing to use our cab companies too. It's all competition, but it's all good for City of Shreveport.